Ow! Ow. I'm okay. I think I'm okay. I know I've said it in the past, but it bears repeating. 2016 is turning out to be an extraordinary year for gaming. While not every anticipated title has held up flawlessly to scrutiny, there have also been a lot of surprises. And one of those surprises has been Stardew Valley, which has been as welcome as a six-pack of Gatorade after a long night drinking cheap wine. Stardew Valley is, without a doubt, my favorite game of 2016 so far. I've invested an obscene amount of time in this plucky farming adventure, time that I intend to double. And that's really all that needs to be said. I've got some pumpkins to harvest, see you next week. Last person hit the lights on your way out. Okay, fine. Stardew Valley is an indie title that concerns the adventures of you, your average cog in the machine of the latest corporate overlord. That is, until your grandfather dies and leaves you a rundown farm in Stardew Valley. The valley itself is essentially the Stars Hollow of video games, safe, cute, and with plenty of quirky characters to make friends with, or even eventually marry. You begin your new life with a fistful of seeds and a hope for a brighter future. Beyond that, the story itself has everything to do with what you want out of this world. Will you devote yourself entirely to your crops, eventually building your farm upwards into a massive, autonomous fruits and veggies supplier? Or do you see yourself spending a lot of time down at the ocean, spending your hours fishing for any of the dozens of varieties of aquatic life that call Stardew Valley their home? Or maybe you're more of an adventurer. Well, you can strap on a sword and plunder the dark recesses of an abandoned mine, collecting artifacts and precious stones from the fallen blobs and bats that live there. You'll likely find yourself doing a combination of all of it, particularly if you play enough. Eventually, you'll establish something of a schedule, plant on certain days, fish on others, and it's when you get into this flow that you'll notice the brilliant slow burn of the world around you. Bear in mind, there is always something to do. There are plants to water, a community center to restore, holidays to celebrate, and people to woo and impress. But that doesn't account for the randomized moments of what the hell that pop in and out of the plot. There's always something happening, some new story or gameplay element to uncover, and it goes beyond the usual recipes and crafting that you see in other games, although there are plenty of those as well. Maybe one day you'll wake up and find a meteorite in your backyard, or you'll get a letter from the local wizard who needs an ingredient for his latest spell. Yeah, Stardew Valley has a wizard, why wouldn't it? Maybe another day you'll gain the trust of a homeless man who needs to dig through the trash to survive. When you couple all of these moments with a well-crafted art style and a warm, angelic soundtrack, you've got a game with a just one more turn draw that will keep you harvesting beets and milking cows long into the night. The obvious comparison that Stardew Valley gets is to the Harvest Moon series, and while I've never played Harvest Moon, one only needs a cursory examination of it to understand just how big the similarities are. But it isn't just nostalgia goggles that's making this game such a huge success. If I had to put my finger on one major aspect of Stardew Valley that is more responsible than any other for its popularity, I would have to argue for just how accessible it is. Whatever sort of gamer you are, whatever sort of games you've played in the past, Stardew Valley is easy to find your way into. It's like coffee and pie on a cool evening. Warm, inviting, and very difficult to put down once you've had a few bites. The premise is simple but engaging, the mechanics are intuitive, and nothing about it feels cynical or jaded in any way, even when you delve into the more serious aspects of the personal lives of some of your neighbors. Stardew Valley is the sort of game you could play with your kids. There's nothing controversial or grimdark about it. It's a simple, straightforward game with a lot of sincerity to it. And that simplicity has translated into a mod scene that is busting at the seams with all sorts of options that further make this game an experiment in replay value, the likes of which haven't been seen since the Civilization franchise. It's a lovely work of interactive entertainment, and something I think that everyone should give a look. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go check and see if my chickens have left me any eggs today.